cycles is we always try to change things up, but we kind of evaluate how testing went the last cycle to determine what exactly needs to change. So I think we had pretty good results in the last cycle. I know the women did well. That's who I deal with primarily. So
good job, 5 o'clock.
Your favorites.
Yeah.
So you guys can talk about your groups.
Well, for those of you guys that don't know, I program for our middle school and high schoolers. I think overall we had good results across the board. Those that were here and consistent and been able to be here got really good results. Jared Payne's a good example. He increased his deadlift by 25 pounds, his bench press by 15-20 pounds. So we've had and those kids have gotten faster, been able to jump higher and stuff. And so I think overall everybody's done well in those groups, middle schoolers and high schoolers.
What's the strength group, Evan?
Strength group as a whole, besides me, maybe Aaron, anybody else? Yeah, David. Everybody else did excellent.
But we suck.
Yeah, across the board. But that's exactly what the strength group is designed to do. It's designed to get people stronger. And I program for the strength group, as well as the older adults. But for the strength group, what we normally do is we put a program together that's designed to make people super strong and minimize weaknesses as well as injuries. This next cycle, what we're going to do is focus on maximal strength and speed stuff. We're going to include all of that stuff. What we're going to change up is we're going to primarily try to build muscle in the weakest areas after all of our main lifts. Okay, so that's going to motivate a lot of people to train and push on the accessories, whereas some people only want to do the main lift and they just kind of survive the rest of the workout. Well, that's really not going to happen this time because you have to push super hard through the entire workout. So the goal would be to build a little bit of muscle, but also teach you how to train through the entire session and work through all the accessories as hard as possible.
Overall, less volume in the accessories though, right?
Probably a little bit less total volume. So the workouts will be a lot shorter. It won't feel like every workout's going to go 10 minutes over. We should be done probably on time, a little bit less of a warm-up, kind of get to the main stuff, and after that put a lot of focus, probably about 35-40 minutes on hard accessory work. That's it.
And that's it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna telling you guys the changes we're gonna make to the women's program. So we have a couple of key spots that mostly everybody is weak in, and we try to hit that right now with the warm up. But people have the first two sets of the warm up is always just like a guessing game for some people, anyways. So we're gonna get things more set in stone, so people will catch on to the patterns of what we're doing for the warm up, which will get the workout rolling faster. We've had a lot of issues with it going over lately, or having to skip stuff because you can't get everything in an hour. So this will hopefully speed up the speed of the work, and then also take out the confusion of the guessing games, or Aaron, am I doing this right, or Jared, am I doing this right? So you guys will become more accustomed to what you are supposed to be doing. They'll still ask. You'll still ask. Better. I mean, we want you to, for sure. It's not.
See, Evan is such a perfect coach that there's never a question after he's done explaining.
That right. Hardly work with company.
Never happens.
That was my point. So what changes are you making, Jared?
So I've been kind of going over things and being as like trying to not make too big of drastic changes. I think things I'm going to keep. I think our max and speed work upper and lower has been really good. I think the kids have learned a lot and really starting to learn how to strain and how to press through while maintaining good technique and good form, which I think is something we were kind of lacking. What I'm kind of looking at going forward is kind of taking a hybrid of kind of what Evan was talking about, but then also keeping some of what we've done before. So I'm probably gonna shorten the warm up just a little bit. Try to get through our dynamic work, our jump work, our throws quickly, and then get right into our max work or speed day. And then after that, what I'm wanting to do, and we're gonna kind of play with it and see how it goes. Do 1 or 2 exercises of what I would call supplemental, what we would call supplemental. That's kind of like what we're going to do with the strength group. Rotate them in 3-week waves, and we keep 1 or 2 exercises the same. And every week you're trying to beat your numbers, either in reps or in weight. And every time you get a couple of workup sets, and then you try to go for the max weight you can or the max number of reps you can. And then 2 exercises at the end of accessory work like we do now. So we're still getting the mechanical work at the end, but we're also still being able to push really hard in our supplemental stuff right after our lift. And so, and those accessory work, the higher rep, higher time sets will be more widely rotated. So those will be just never going to be the same stuff. Probably, obviously, there is at a certain point a finite number of exercises, so we'll rotate stuff eventually. And then I was thinking too, one of the things that I kind of noticed too is a lot of our kids are pretty weak and not very efficient at free squatting. And so what I want to do is at least I want to incorporate it a little bit more. And since it is something they're going to do a lot of, I want them to be good at it. They are doing a lot of that stuff at the high school or in other places. So they're going to be experiencing it a lot. They're going to be dealing with it a lot, and I want them to be good at it. So that will kind of change how we do some maybe of our max work stuff. We may not do as much supplemental stuff after we do a heavy free squat day. We may do a little more. We may do a lot of sled work, reverse hypers, things like that to kind of rejuvenate. For some of the deload stuff, I do want to incorporate more and more jump work or weighted jump work. So trap bar work, med ball stuff, kettlebells. I would like to introduce clean pulls at some point. I think that the benefit from a triple extension standpoint would be, I think it's one of those things that they need to work on, and it gives them a different way to work on it. That would probably, like I said, it'd probably be a deload during, keep it on our speed day, because since we only have a 3-day split with those guys, I have to be careful just in managing their intensity. So I think overall volume is probably going to stay honestly pretty close to the same. We may go a little lower because I'm not going to have them do as many reps on the supplemental stuff. It's still going to be, 8s probably. Yeah.
Until the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be as heavy until the end. This is something I've been throwing around. I've been wanting to mix in like a more like Tabata work, or maybe like minute sets for some of those like accessory work, or we do like the strength group does some of like stuff like the set for a song, an exercise for a song link, or I know the adults group does several different exercises like that, either on songs or on Tabata sets, and those are really good for, I think, the kids, for just doing, teaching them kind of how to push through a little bit of discomfort, because sometimes you can tell the kids as it starts to get a little heavier, their arms start to burn a little bit, it's like, and then they're just done.